Is talk getting cheap? Let's bring in our political panel. Columnist for the Washington Post, Dana Milbank, CNN chief political analyst Gloria Borger, and editor-in-chief of CNSnews.com, Terry Jeffrey. Thanks one and all for being here. Gloria, has the ball been moved at all since this morning when House Republicans put forward an offer for a debt ceiling bill that still didn't open the government?
Jay, isn't it clear to you what's going on here? Because it's totally clear to me.
It's as clear as Jay Carney wanted it to be.
It's totally. Just sort of parsing the words, which is all we can really do at this particular time, is that the latest thing seems to be that the White House says if you only want to raise the debt ceiling for 6 weeks, we can't make budget negotiations a part of it because we're going to be right back at it in 6 weeks, and that doesn't make any sense. So
what's your view, Terry, of where we are right now?
Jake, if you look at this from a conservative point of view, I think you see the Republican leadership in the House in a long retreat march. They started out September 20th, passed the CR, defunded Obamacare. The 29th, they passed the CR that said, let's delay it for a year. The 30th, they passed the CR, said, well, let's get rid of the special privilege for Congress and delay it for a year. Now they're not even talking about Obamacare. So I can tell you conservative activists around this country are irate at what John Boehner is doing.
So you can see that where it's going. They're caving. It's just a matter of time, very slowly. So the ball is moving, but you need scientific instruments to measure it at this point.
I would say, though, House Republicans, as you say, are caving. They're giving in, and they have been since that original bill. But if the White House position was, we are not going to negotiate, well, what the heck's going on?
They're negotiating.
I mean, that seems to me like it's negotiating.
They're negotiating.
Maybe they've already gotten what they wanted. The key point was whether or not we were going to implement Obamacare. It seems, from what we know now, that Boehner's capitulated on that, which was the core of what the president wanted.
I think it's not so much that Boehner's capitulated. It's just the fact that they actually picked up the Wall Street Journal the other day and saw their poll numbers going downhill and fast, and are worried about control, perhaps, of the House, or
I don't think the White House is necessarily negotiating or capitulating in any way. They're going to give them a little cover. Yeah, we're talking, and basically.
And we'll have some sort of discussion.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion, and we're just waiting for you guys to care.
Now, Terry, I know you feel strongly about the fact that Sean O'Malley of Boston, yes, Cardinal, wants a freedom of religion amendment attached to this government spending bill. It would exempt employers, insurers, and individuals from being forced to buy or provide coverage for things that go against their conscience, such as some forms of birth control, or maybe all forms of birth control, depending on the
artificial birth control.
Okay, so you want that attached to it as well?
Well, you know, that bill they passed at 12:16 a.m. on Sunday, the 29th, it was in there. It would last for a year. They took it out. The Catholic bishops did ask them to put it into that or the debt limit. Jake, you had a very powerful story with that crab fisherman from Alaska and what's happening to him on a personal basis. Right here in this town, just 3 miles down North Capitol Street, you have Archbishop Carroll Catholic High School. It's a diocesan high school. Cardinal Wuerl, who's the Archbishop of this city, and that high school and Catholic University 2 weeks ago filed a new suit against the Obama administration. They're literally saying, and they're right, that by being forced to buy, among other things, abortion-inducing drugs for the students and for the faculty and administrators of that school and other archdiocesan employees, the Catholic Church is being forced to act against the teachings of the Catholic faith. President Obama is responsible for that on a personal basis. Are we really in this country going to say that Catholics cannot practice their religion?
It's a debate worth having, but why attach it to a government spending bill where these passions on both sides of this issue will affect the crab fisherman and his livelihood? I
think this is the reason. It's because when they first came out, the Catholic bishops, for example, Archbishop Berlioz, head of the Catholic Archdiocese for the Military Services, he wrote a letter he wanted read to the troops at Catholic masses all around the world. He said, we cannot comply with this unjust law. Many other Catholic bishops said that. That's almost 2 years ago. In the final regulation, the administration is not only coercing the Catholic Church and Catholic institutions, but individual Catholics. If it's not attached either to the CR or the debt limit, it takes effect on January 1st, 2014.
I want to move. We only have about a minute left. I want to move to the Value Voter Summit. And Dana, what struck you when you watched it today? For me, it was just the hero welcome for Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, who started much of what's going on right now.
Yes, he's almost single-handedly responsible for this. I would say the whole Republican Party has been crucified at this point, and he's losing clout here and among his colleagues here. He's done terrible things to his party and to his cause, but he's going to be a hero. So it's a heroic failure now, and I think his reputation with the Tea Party is better than ever.
And Gloria, we had Peter Hamby interview one of the leading conservative activists, religious conservative activists, who said that Ted Cruz is the leader of the Republican Party right now.
Well, I think there are a couple of Republican parties. He is the leader of one wing of the Republican Party, but I don't even know if you call it wings anymore, because I just think they're separate parties. I mean, you have disdain for the Republican leadership. You say they're in retreat. They're saying, you know, we tried it your way, but we actually have to pass this debt ceiling and we have to keep the government running. So I don't see any reconciliation between these two sides.
To be continued. Gloria, Dana, Terry, thank you so much.